A Google search will tell you that the average length of an NFL game is 3 hours and 12 minutes. Because this is Buffalo, let's add in about 4 hours for the pregame tailgate. Give or take 45 minutes for the traffic and parking, you're looking at 8 hours that thousands of Bills fans will set aside for every home game during a season. Multiply that by 9 home games a year, that's roughly 72 hours some fans invest each season to be here at Highmark Stadium for the team. And yet many take it even further. They'll tell you this is 24/7, 365 days a year. That kind of devotion is the burden you get when you're born into this fan base. It's the commitment you make when you stay, and one day, when the biggest game of the year finally goes this team's way, fans know it will be the best decision they've ever made.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Van Miller in Orchard Park, New York, and the road to the Super Bowl goes through Rich Stadium.
Holy mackerel, they did it again!
Fasten your seatbelts. It's playoff time.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown, Buffalo!
Where else would you rather be?
Allen back to throw. Going to run it and keep it himself to the 40. Jumps over a man. Touchdown!
It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. It is pandemonium. It is fantastic.
Who does it better than Bills fans? Like who fans better than Western New Yorkers?
Who fans better than Bills fans? I do not know if there is an answer to that question. Around here, people plan their weddings around the Bills schedule. As a matter of fact, while we were getting set up today, we literally watched 2 Bills fans get engaged to each other right on the field. Congratulations, by the way, to Tim and Ashley. Grocery stores close early during the playoffs so employees can get home for the game. They put a giant poster of Josh Allen up downtown, and it became a tourist attraction. This is who we are, this is what we do, and this is where we come to experience all of that. But now there's a moving truck in the driveway, and Bills Mafia has to say goodbye to its childhood home. But here's one more walk down memory lane with some of the Bills' biggest superfans.
That first game I ever went to, it comes to mind. That's the first back in 1973.
1990 season. It was a Sunday night football game on TNT. The Bills were playing the Raiders.
First memory would be when my father took me, and I think it was in 73.
I was 5 or 6. It was the 2001 season.
A pretty cool thing happens when you ask a Bills fan what is their first memory at this stadium. They will share every detail like it just happened yesterday.
I was 15 years old.
And it was just magical. I was like a 10-year-old kid.
We went to a preseason game.
I remember it was a real snowy game, and OJ had a good game, so there was a lot of yardage. The Bills won against the Jets.
It was wild, and I remember the parking lots just seemed like there was parking lots everywhere. There was so much space there,
As we're approaching the stadium and just seeing the stadium, and I just remember thinking wow, just being in the same building as at that time it was Travis Henry and Eric Moulds, and being wow, I'm in the same building. I know I'm high up, but I'm in the same room technically as these guys.
Being up there in the 300s especially, just that giant view. There's so many people here, oh my gosh.
So I was shocked at how many levels there were. The third level was so they could fit so many people in there. But it was so open, and the concourses were nice, and the lights, and it was modern at that time.
Joni, or Mama J as she is known around this stadium, has loved the Bills even before they played football in Orchard Park. Her introduction to the franchise is something I think a lot of us can relate to. It was almost like a family inheritance.
My first memories is my father screaming at the television every Sunday, and I had no idea what he was doing. So he ended up teaching me football, and I ended up liking and loving the Bills more than he did. And he always liked to watch it on TV and not go to games because he said he didn't see as much. But I made him take me to the old War Memorial Stadium a few times to see a game. So yeah, I was there at the old rock pile.
Football lessons with her dad turned into a lifelong love of the Buffalo Bills for Joni. She went to see the team in all 4 Super Bowls and has been a season ticket holder here for nearly 20 years. It was actually during a game at this stadium back in 1998 when Joni found what would become a staple in her game day closet.
And the first game I came to with my friend Claudia in 1998, I think it was the home opener, I found this hat here at Highmark Stadium. It was hanging on a vendor. I didn't even see it at first. And Claudia goes, look at that hat. That hat is perfect for your outfit. So that's how the hat started. It was white. The original hat was white. And then through the years, I changed it to red.
It's something that has made her one of the most recognizable Bills fans across the country.
It's unbelievable. I never really thought I would be like this. A lot of people would recognize me. It's a blessing. I feel blessed. I can just see my father in heaven just shaking his head. What did I build down here?
But Joni is far from the only fan with an iconic outfit.
Some of my best, earliest childhood memories are sitting with my grandfather watching Bills games in Orchard Park.
That's John Lang, also known as Bills Elvis.
In '92, a buddy of mine and I bet on the game, and I was just goofing with him. I was like, well, I'll bet you double or nothing I'm on TV. And just kind of a goof, I scoured my back room, and they had me, it was funny, they had me on the broadcast, and then they had me on ESPN later that night. The Buffalo News had a picture of me, and my whole section's just, they were having a riot with it, and they go, do it again, you got to do it again. So it kind of grew out of that in 1992.
So it started in 92. How long have you had season tickets for?
Since 92.
So since 92, so you got the season tickets in 92, and I'm assuming, do you go to every game? Do you go to 90% of them, or is it like you've been to every home game since 92?
I've only missed 4 games since 92, home games.
Wow. John has called Section 126 home for more than 30 years, and that's also where his daughter fell in love with this team.
I was always a Bills fan. I never even attempted to like another team. I knew we weren't very good. I wasn't like my brother. He tried to like other teams because he's like, why would you like a team that's not good? But I liked the tailgating and stuff. I knew like that's what it was all about.
What is it like for you to be able to go to games with your dad? A lot of the stories that people have shared with us is how special it is that this has been a generational thing for them. What does it mean for you to be able to share this with him and with your family?
Oh, it means everything. Best memories we have are at the Ralph.
When I first fell in love with the Bills, I would say it would be about 1988. So growing up, it was always like my parents' team, and I think I liked the idea of being a Bills fan, but I don't think I was really like a Bills fan until about 8th grade. The Bills won the division. They beat the New York Jets 9-6. First time they won the division in I guess 8 years, which when you're 12, 13 years old, that's like 100 years. I guess you could say I'm a fair weather fan. Like I got hooked, they won the division, I was a fan, right?
A fair weather fan to fan of the year. Del Reed may be among the people most synonymous with Bills Mafia. He's actually one of the people who is credited with creating that name. He also operates 26 Shirts, which sells Buffalo apparel and donates the proceeds to charity. Being a fan for a better part of 40 years, Del knows exactly what this stadium means to the Mafia.
Hallowed ground, right? It sounds corny saying it, but it's a really special place. It's somewhere that everybody in Western New York, or every Bills fan in Western New York, that's a shared place that we have. That's kind of special. Like some people like going here, some people like going here. We all argue over who has the best chicken wings, We all enjoy going to the stadium on game day. And we have so many shared memories there.
Del says his parents and his uncle passed down a love for all of this. And now he's a father raising a new generation of Bills fans.
The past 3 or 4 years, my wife and I, we ended up getting like 4 season tickets, and we brought our 2 daughters with us like every week. Sharing that with my kids, because like I have like maybe 3-4 games from my high school years that I remember actually going to the game. Being able to bring my kids with me to every game has been awesome.
This stadium and the Buffalo Bills aren't just how we connect with family. It's also how we turn strangers into friends.
It'll be in the middle of April and we're talking about like, you know, who they're going to pick, or don't you hate who they just picked, or don't you love who they just picked, or who do you think they're going to sign in free agency, or man, I bet you can't wait till Bills season, all those things. It doesn't matter what time of year you're going in the elevator with a stranger, you still can talk about the Bills.
To me, I always tell people that the home opener is probably the best day of the year in Western New York. Like, it is so significant and it means so much to so many people. Why do you think that is?
It's like what we look for. It's like Christmas morning, or like the new first day of the school year, where like you get your clothes all ready, you're waking up early, you're texting all your friends about the plans you're gonna make, and making sure everything's good. Just like community coming together, really. That's like the coolest part. And like friends, and you know, there's people like I meet up with who I don't see the rest of the year that like I tailgate with and hang out with them.
That's Brother Bill, a fan you may recognize from social media. He represents a generation of Bills fans that weren't even alive for the Super Bowl era, and almost quite the opposite. They had to live through a 17-year playoff drought.
I often think about like the drought years and how like we found pleasure in like the most minimalistic of like moral victories, that we could like beating the Jags on like a last second Riley Bell field goal. I was at that game and I remember like, you forget that you're like 6 and whatever, 8. Like it feels like you're just like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is in us, but like that is so real.
During the drought, that's always what it was. We were always, who's our guy, or who's, you know, is this when it's going to turn around? Whether it was E.J. Manuel's touchdown to Stevie against the Panthers, or all these different moments. And obviously there's a lot of like frustration and heartache and anxiety and Toronto games like mixed in there. But we were always like clinging to like those moments and those guys.
I think the hardest times were probably like around 2008 to 2015, around that time. I still enjoyed the games though. It was always exciting to go to a game, even though we weren't doing too well.
Joni says the real tough stretch for fans in this team began in 2008. Eric Wood arrived in Buffalo in 2009 as the 28th pick in that year's draft. He would play the next 9 seasons here, at right guard and at center. Eric describes those drought years in the same way fans do. Little moments of hope.
That Patriots game back in 2011, we start the season 3-0. Obviously that season got derailed, some injuries, and we fell apart a little bit, but starting that season 3-0, we got to feel, I guess, what Bills Mafia could be. Not that they didn't support us those first couple years and throughout the entire drought era, because as I brag on Bills Mafia all the time, I'm like, look, I played in the longest playoff drought in all of professional sports, but there was still tremendous support for our team. But those first few games, that Oakland comeback, and then to cap it off with the comeback against New England, the fans still in the stadium an hour after the game, that was extremely special.
In 2017, the Buffalo Bills playoff drought ended, and then Eric Wood retired from football. Now, as a member of the Buffalo Bills radio broadcast, he has some new favorite memories inside the stadium.
You know, a lot of my favorite memories from Highmark have now been calling the games and playing catch with my son after the games on the field and bringing my family to the games, having them on the field. That's special, really special at this stage.
John, it's a pretty general question, but it sometimes gets an interesting answer. What do the Bills mean to you?
Oh, wow. It's hard to put that into words. I mean, we have so much fun on a game day, and it's been such a huge part of my life. You know, it's hard to put it into words. It's it's family. It really is. It's family to me.
This will be our 5th season in a row now that we've been in this specific section, and we've struck friendships with like, these people around us, to the point where like we've gone out to dinner like in the middle of like June with some of the people that are in our section and everything.
They're definitely way more than a football team. Like, I don't know if other fan bases have the same connection that like we would with a team, because getting together, even though when they weren't good, like that has just taught me like a lot. Like you show up for your friends and your family, and you get together no matter what the weather's like.
So many like the memories are hanging out with the fans. Like it's gonna be weird, if and actually a bunch of us in our section, we're trying to go through the stadium experience at the same time, so we can all kind of like still sit together and everything. But it would be weird like not giving Steve a high five, or Chrissy sitting next to Amy and just chatting through the whole game, not paying attention, but like talking through the whole game and hanging out and everything. Like it would be weird, because that's part of the experience, is these friendships that we've made.
The first thing I think about is family and loyalty. I mean, just how the Bills fans have gotten closer through the years when we've been bad. Everybody sticks together with this team, is so loyal with this team, and we all believe together, and I don't even know how to explain it. I don't think other teams have this unity with other fans.
Joni's Bills family also included Ezra Castro, a Buffalo superfan known as Pancho Billa. Castro passed away after a battle with cancer in 2019.
We talked about it a lot. I couldn't remember if I met him in Kansas City or Green Bay, in 2010, and we just hit it off together. We both love the Bills, and he's such a nice guy and fun to be with, and he was like my son. And his kids, they call me grandma. I'm their grandma. So yeah, he was my son. I always called him my son, my football son.
It is just a building, but it is a building that is filled with so many memories. Do you think at all about it being the final year there? Is that something you've thought about at all?
Definitely, like a lot this year. I'm the type, I really love that stadium. Like I love all the tchotchkiness and like the beat down parts of it, and like the bleachers. I'm a huge bleacher guy, so like I'm gonna hate not having bleachers at the new one. I like smacking them. I like everybody, that, like I remember that as a kid being like one of my favorite things, is just beating the bleachers with like a bunch of people around you, smacking them and screaming, and so much good memories.
It's the noise, right? I can still hear the noise in my head of people smacking the bleachers and that thud that it makes, right?
Train horn and bleachers, just a beautiful symphony.
I literally have like pictures of me like 4 years old standing in front of the stadium. So it is crazy to think that it's been there so long and it's coming to an end. But I'm also so excited for what's coming next.
I have thought about this being the last season, and that's why I want to remember every single moment this year. I mean, I grew up with this stadium. I was 15 when I first went there, and it's going to be sad for me that it's no longer there.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know. Ask me in December after that Jets game, or hopefully after the AFC Championship. Ask me then.
I just hope that the last time we're in there, there's confetti falling from the sky.
It almost represents us like perfectly, and like how especially like the outside world sees us. Like I know, and like I have friends coming from out of town, and like everyone wants to go see Bills fans in like their element. And I know when they see the stadium, they're all just like, "This is a stadium," like. But like it's us, like it's gritty, it's beaten down. I do love that part of it, that it's like it doesn't matter about the bells and whistles. It's just, this is us. This is what we are, and it represents us perfectly, in my opinion. Like the Ralph.
I think we've all grown strong through the years together. We face a lot of the big A word, adversity. But you know what? We never give up.
Lucky for Joni and Bills fans everywhere, this current era is the closest the Bills have gotten to winning it all in 30 years. Head coach Sean McDermott and his players say they know the pressure, but also the privilege of playing for this fan base here in Orchard Park.
Only in Buffalo.
Yeah.
That only happens in Buffalo, right?
This is a special place because of the community of it.
I mean, it runs deep. It really does.
And they dream about giving this stadium a fairy tale ending, just like you do.
To see that success, to be a part of it, has been such a blessing. And at the same time, we know that, there's still one more step to take.
I understand that we need to win for this community.
We definitely have a little extra motivation to make this year a little extra special for them.
The team that brought this organization back to the top and that will play the final game ever inside this stadium, that's on the next episode.